Hey guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joi. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 32. I'm your host, Phebe Joi, and hi, hey, and welcome. You guys, I am pumped about this episode. Guess what? She's back. I was able to get Mom to come back onto the podcast. And so this episode, we are going to be talking about teaching and teachers to celebrate my mom entering into her retirement era. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode. Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there. I hope you guys had a fantastic day, and I'll catch y'all on the other side. All right, guys, I'm back with our special guest. Hi, Ma.
Hey, Phoebe.
I managed to get Mom back on the podcast. I've mentioned it a couple of times since I've had her on, but I finally told her yesterday. I was like, hey, Mom, what you doing tomorrow? Because we're both off work tomorrow. And she was like, oh, nothing. Relaxing. And I was like, oh, great. You can come record an episode. So here she is. Thanks, Ma.
You're welcome. Although I really did have plans, working in the garden, straighten up a little bit, but yeah, I'm here.
Thanks, Mother. I appreciate you taking the time out of your gardening and straightening to join me on the podcast and to join my listeners out there. So today's podcast, I wasn't specifically doing it because of Mother's Day around the corner, but it just so happens to be Mother's Day around the corner, and we are getting to the end of the school year, which this year is very, very important because of why, Mom?
Because at the end of this school year, 2024, I will be retiring. Yeah. At least attempting to retire,
Attempting? Why do you say attempting?
Because there's so many paperwork, and you have to make sure this is done, and this is done, and this is done, and until that is finalized. But yes, most likely no later than August 1st.
Wow. How's that feel?
Oh, it feels good. It feels like refreshing.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I can see that.
Not a heavy burden being lifted or anything, because I enjoyed my job, but refreshing.
Well, good. Yay. So yeah, Mom is retiring this year from teaching, which is pretty crazy because I remember when you started teaching, and you didn't start like early in your young adulthood. You started later. So can you tell us about how you started and why you started teaching?
Initially, when I went back to college, I was going into dental hygienist because that's what I did in the military. So I was just going to get a degree.
When did you go back to college? I was around, wasn't I?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I kind of remember you. I remember you in college for teaching, but I don't remember you in college for dental hygiene.
Well, as a parent with young children, you have to kind of fit that in, and the children don't recognize what you're doing. So I went to classes at night and received my associate's degree. I'm not sure how old you were, but
little.
You were young. You were young.
So.
You were also in daycare because I had to put you in daycare. And from there, we moved. Mm-hmm. That's where I could. You remember that now, right?
I mean, a little bit. I remember you being in school during that time, but I don't remember.
You should have remembered the daycare.
I remember daycare. I do remember daycare because you worked at the daycare, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I was like, I thought
because
I was like, I remember you being.
It was near the school.
Oh, that's funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the things kids don't realize. Mm-hmm. I just remember you worked at the daycare. I knew I was there, and you weren't always there, but I did remember, because you worked in a different section, is all I kind of remember.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember whenever it was nap time, after nap time, I would wake up and it would be time to go see Mom. That's all I remember.
Yes. So the time you didn't see me is when the time I was in class.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the daycare was very close to the university.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that's when I transferred into education.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dental program, it was a mobile program. So it moved. So the next thing was education, because I wanted to work around your schedule, my children's schedule.
Oh.
And I wanted to be available in the summer.
Yes.
And whenever you all had off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I chose education.
That's cool. Did you, I don't think I know of any family members who were teachers or worked in education.
Yes,
do we
I
have
do.
some?
I do.
Okay.
I have an aunt. This is Peggy's and Trisha and Diane's mom.
Okay.
Auntie Nellie. We were very close. All of our cousins and siblings are close, but she was one of the teachers in our family. And I noticed how she went to school when she was older, getting her master's degree and graduating. And even the little small things made a huge impact, on when you grow up. You never know until you think about it. Oh, yeah, that's where I got the idea from. It never really was mine. It was planted years ago.
Yeah. I can see that. I do see a lot of unintentionally children follow the footsteps of their parents. Yeah, just like me.
Even when they said, I'll never be a teacher.
Never. I had no intentions. I was like, no. Who would want to be a teacher? Teachers are people who gave up on their dreams. Is what I used to say. I know, it's terrible thinking about it now. But I'd be like, no, teachers is like, that's secondary. And then, until I actually got older and saw the influence and impact that teachers made on the lives of students. And before I realized, honestly, one of the biggest influences on children are teachers outside of parents, because they see them most of the time, all day long. They help, shape their personalities and their behaviors and their learning. There's so much that teachers do. So my respect has grown, even though I never intended to be a teacher. I'm glad that I am one now.
I am too.
I know, because we get to work together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, my kind of earliest memories of you teaching is when you were a substitute I remember you were my substitute in 4th grade. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't call on me, even though my hand was raised. You never called on me. And that's okay. But I do remember that. And then I remember you being at my school. You were... you started teaching when I was in 5th grade. By that next year, you had started working at the school.
Yes.
In 1st grade, which was always cool. I liked having my mom as a teacher, which is cool. Which actually translates to how I feel now, because when I tell people that we work at the same school, that we work together, a lot of people are like, you can work with your parents. They feel like they couldn't work with their parents and survive. But I enjoy it. That being said, it's probably good we're not on the same team. That could be a struggle. That could be too close. But having you at the school is fun. And I like being able to see you, and I can sneak moments and be like, Mom. Yeah. And I like what you do, and you make me proud as a parent. So it's been cool.
Yeah, it's a change. I know with the different role as a daughter and mother and teacher and fellow co-worker, that many a times you had to chastise me and say, Mom, don't do that. And hopefully I learned my lesson that I'm like, yeah.
You've gotten a little better. Motherhood still comes out sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom, we're at work. You can't do that.
It comes out when you don't listen.
I know. No, it wasn't that I wasn't listening. Yeah. It was that I was talking, and you were like, stop talking. But you didn't say that in a nice way, Mother.
Like I said, you weren't listening. If you're talking, you're not listening. But so we learned how to separate that.
We did, but even those were little things, how long have we've been working? 4 years? It was it was because it was during COVID, I know, at least, and that was 2020, so that was 4 years ago. So 2019 maybe is when you came over. Maybe.
Yeah. So it was 1920.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your first year was the COVID year, like that 19 going into 20, like we were
Yes.
done by March. Okay. Mm-hmm. That was wild. We should, let's talk about teaching during COVID. Because that was interesting. I will say, so when COVID shut everything down, it was March, if I remember correctly. And I think it was like March 17th. Like, I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was the teens. Because, like, we were like, it was 2 weeks before spring break. And we were like, okay, we'll come back right after. Like, this is going to be over by the end of spring break. So we pretty much get a 3-week break. We were like, this is great. We get 3 weeks off, 2 weeks off, or whatever this COVID thing is, get our regular spring break and come back as if things were normal. So we left rooms pretty much as they were, cleaned up, straightened up, and just kind of left everything. And we didn't go back in the building that year.
No, I remember even before the school was shut down, I was sick. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm not feeling well. So I did take 3 days off, thinking once again that we were coming back Monday, not knowing that the school had shut down. And when I did come back, everybody was gone. I wanted to come back because I wanted to make sure that my classroom was in order. So I did get a chance to straighten up and took my fish home and other things I needed to do, which is great because we did not come back.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. We did not. We didn't make it back, which is wild. And then after we realized we weren't coming back, that's when we tried the NTI, which is non-traditional instruction. So we tried teaching online. I think after spring break, it was when we, started that maybe? I don't know exactly when, because I know it started that year.
It did start that year. Exactly after spring break, I don't think so, because we had to get things in order.
Yeah.
And once that was initiated, because students needed Chromebooks if they had to,
Mm-hmm.
Those had to be distributed. Teachers had to get the schedules together. So it was a little bit, took some time, but for some people it was successful. Some other people struggled, especially with the parents, because a lot of responsibilities fell upon the parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt for the parents that year. I was like, shoo-wee, like that would be a tough thing to try to figure out. Luckily, it was affecting the entire, all of society. So, even work and things hopefully could work with them and all of that. But that was tough for parents. I felt sorry for teachers who were also parents, because they had to teach online to the students, but they also had to figure out their own kids' schedules and work around that. And that was a whole ordeal, I remember.
And parents that had to work.
Yeah.
And then try to find daycare for their children.
Oh, yeah, the daycare situation.
Daycares were shut down. So it was a difficult time for some people. As for myself, because I don't have small children, that was a good time for me. I enjoy watching families walk around, just a close-knit family, not friends, around the neighborhood to get exercise and different things. And that was great because you got to see the father. Most of the time you see the mother and the children, or just the children, but you got to see the family unit. And I thought that was awesome.
That was the good part, I think, about all of that, is that we got out more.
Yeah.
We got out more with our immediate families, because you couldn't go around to parties and spread everything. So you had to hang around the people you were with, which were your families. And even our students, I know it was kind of a forced family engagement, but there was so much family engagement. Well, we never got so many emails and messages and phone calls and voice or face-to-face video conferences and seeing parents in the background of screens. It was kind of interesting. And it was cool in a sense of when you have all those many people involved. Of course, there's the accountability piece as a teacher, but then there's the accountability piece as a student. You can see parents are seeing, okay, how engaged is your kid on this? And, sometimes they would, correct their kid, or they would recognize that, okay, it makes a difference with me being involved. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wish we still had that now that we're back in school, is that kind of parent oversight of what their kids are doing, and looking at that level of engagement. But
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So that was COVID. And teaching during COVID, for me, it wasn't too bad either, because I had no small children. I definitely think, even with being online, that in school is probably it is more effective for teaching young children. That was the year I taught kindergarten. So things like writing kind of went to the wayside. Like, we tried to teach it, but it's hard to do that virtually, to get the pencil in their hand, to check their formation, all of that stuff. But and even reading, and some of it I think would just be better in person. But we were able to accomplish a lot, actually. And some students, I don't think, most, of course, I don't think get the full experience as they would in kindergarten, but a lot of students, that didn't hold them back. They were still very smart. They were still ready for first grade by the time we went back to school. So it could work. It worked for as well as it could.
I know there was a lot of upload for the teachers. If you wanted your students to be successful, it was a lot of work.
Yes.
We didn't just assign them with something to do. What is that called?
The choice boards?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the last option, really, was a choice board. It was really like they were in school. You had to meet for morning meetings at this certain time. We had reading at this certain time. The students had to be prepared, because the lesson, we met with small groups, we met with math group, not just the recording, but live sessions. So it was a lot for the teachers and for the parents to ensure that those kids were on there and being engaged.
Right, yeah. And it was definitely a lot of management on the teacher's part, because you did have to create all those lessons. You had your whole group, video conferencing, which I don't know how some people didn't. I don't know how some people just did choice boards. I mean, that's just what I've heard. But, if that was what it was, then I could totally see why parents might be like, this isn't good enough for my child, or even districts or whatever. But meeting with them, whole group, doing the lesson, doing the small groups. I mean, we still had ESL groups going at the time. I wasn't in the ESL group, but my kiddos had theirs still
Even
going.
Special areas.
Yeah, special area teachers still had their
trips.
stuff. You guys did.
Yes,
field
we
trips.
did a field trip with the Kentucky Center of the Art, Upward Bound, I think. Yeah, that they came on, and the kids had a field trip. They taught them about different puppets from Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
So it was great. It was great.
And we had people, for kindergarten, we had, of course, our community helpers came in. We had the police person come speak to us. I think a chef. I think a radio personality or a TV personality person come, and they joined us online. Yeah. So it was still good experiences overall. So that was COVID. And so that's when Mom came to my neck of the woods. And yeah, it's been great ever since. And now she's leaving me again, but I survived before you. I guess I'll survive after you.
But I'm still there to support you.
Of course, Mother. If I was still in the classroom, I'd have you volunteer at least twice a week. I'd have you do my bulletin boards. Mom is the queen of bulletin boards. For those of you who don't know, bulletin boards is that lost art of a teacher. And Mom is the queen of them. I mean, like monthly, if not bi-monthly bulletin boards, based on holidays, seasons, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
You had some crazy cool bulletin boards.
I enjoyed bulletin boards.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. I wish I had pictures of all of them, because they just got to be pictures in my head, because we don't have pictures. But like of course the freaky one with Mom had the scarecrow.
Love my scarecrow.
And I mean, but he was like made from back in the day, from like the 80s. Like, he looked old, so he was kind of creepy. He was smiling, but it was creepy. But that was always around October or Halloween or the fall. And then I liked your Snowy Days one, the one with the little guy in the red coat and the footprints. Like, that was a good one. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Your Black History Month was always cool. Your background, I don't even know where you found the background, but that was fun. You always had cool ones. And they were, if you can picture this, like multi-textured, I think, so they weren't just this 2D, flat against the thing, but 3D stuff sticking out, stuff. I mean, yeah, kids' work, they were awesome.
I think one of my favorite one is when I created the crayon box.
Yeah.
That one was a nice
crayon
one.
box was good.
Yeah, a 3D one.
I remember that.
But
You
I
helped me.
can't take all the credit. Pinterest is awesome. You know.
Yes, for Pinterest.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true.
yes.
The few bulletin boards that I've done have been Pinterest ideas. My one that I do every year, and that's the only good one I do, my falling into something, learning whatever it is, was Pinterest with my 3D tree and the leaves and all that stuff. All that was Pinterest. Yeah, you helped me with my stoplight one. Do you remember that when we had one for Garrett Morgan? And you helped me create a 3D stoplight thing. Yeah, so those were great. That was
fun.
That is fun. That's the fun part of teaching. So speaking of, what do you think, now that we're reflecting on your past however many years of teaching, 20 plus years of teaching, what's the best parts of teaching? Like, what will be the parts that you miss or the parts that you enjoyed the most?
I feel that the best part of teaching is student growth. Once I see them, and usually it's in March, because I teach first grade, but by March, you just can see them becoming independent learners and take it off. And with that said, they always come back. Even when they were in second grade, they come back. Third grade, they come back. Even recently, I have an invitation to from a student that's graduating this year, her senior year.
Graduating high school. Oh my,
Well, I have another student who keeps in contact, and she is studying to be a marine biologist.
Oh wow.
And she keeps in contact. And
on like Facebook and stuff?
And in person.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
When she comes home.
And you got a high school invite?
Yes, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
So those things, when you know you made an impact on students' lives.
Yeah, and for you, it's very obvious and quite terrible. And I only say that because Mom taught first grade, and I taught second. And the worst part, so you guys, so the COVID year, okay, I taught kindergarten. So last year, a couple years ago, I taught kindergarten, so I had those group of kids. Then they went to Mom for first grade, and then they came back to me for second grade, because by that time I switched back to second. When I have students tell me, oh, I love Miss Poston. Oh, she's my favorite teacher. I'm like, I had you for two years of your educational career. And your favorite teacher still Miss Poston? I mean, I'll be walking down the hallway and they're like, hi, Miss Poston. I mean, hi, Miss McGay. And I am like, why would you say her name first? What about me? Or it'll be my mom and I will be walking together in the hallway. Hey, Miss Poston. Nothing for Miss McGay. I'm like, wait, I was literally your teacher last year. Like, why? But yeah, you make first grade fun, and I just see that being in around the school in different classes, like you do a lot to engage the students and to make learning fun, which I guess comes from your experience as a teacher and your personality.
Yeah, not that I want to make it fun. I want to make it in a way in which they can take it and teach somebody else. And the only way that they can do that, if they do it, I can instruct them and lecture to them, but it won't stick. But if we create something of what we're studying, they will remember. And that's always what I wanted to do, have them to have a souvenir, as we would say, to take with them to remember what they have learned. Yeah.
And I see that. They always have things. But you're right. It's not just a random fun activity, because that can be done at any point in time. But it is something that consolidates their learning, something that helps them to remember what you've taught and lets them kind of take ownership of the learning and be able to apply it. So that is the mark of a good teacher, you guys. Someone who can do that. So yeah, any other good parts about teaching? The best are the students' growth. Any other good things you liked about it?
The other things that I enjoyed about teaching is, I guess, the different professional developments that I got to choose.
Oh, I'm like, PDs.
No. Not the ones that we have to be required to do, but the one that we have the options to do. Because I remember, and unfortunately it's not happening as much now, going off to Ohio for professional development that I chose and it was paid for. Getting the opportunity to be a part of this grant and things that you could bring back to the classroom. And some of those things, that's what I miss. I remember going to different workshops of, what is the Kagan strategy?
Yeah, Kagan.
I even went to one for Gold Noodle. Yes, yeah. And those little things, yeah. You know, people just use the app or whatever, but I went to the PD so I can have the background knowledge of it. And those are the things I like, going to those different PDs, professional development, and pulling those out. Yeah, we had the requirements. No, I didn't care for those too much, but I do like understanding the foundation.
The why behind it, I guess. Once again, another mark of a good teacher. Yeah, the professional development. That is so funny.
I enjoy my fellow teachers too.
Oh, good.
Thank
Okay,
you,
yes.
Yeah.
I've always said told to people that your coworkers can make or break your experiences. And so luckily, I mean, I've only been at one school as a teacher. I've been at different schools in different roles, such as when I was a therapist. So I got to see kind of different dynamics of teaching coworker relationships. And that's huge, I think, for being at a place a long time. Because you're at one school for a very, very long time. 18, right. So, and with all the changes of, students come and go, and even teachers and principals come and go, but, you know, you're able to stick to it for a while.
Oh, yeah, that was a good experience, too. The good, the bad, you have it all, but, it's your teachers, your fellow co-workers that will support you. I mean, if you don't have that, you're going it alone, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice. The cool thing about teaching and being in a career around other people is you can get ideas from other people. For example, so Mom she is the Derby mastermind, the Kentucky Derby mastermind of everything. And
I can't take credit for that either. I inherit that from other teachers.
See, yes, you get things from other teachers, and you pass it on, I guess, when you leave. Yeah. So just ideas, different ways of engaging, like even ideas for me to do when I was in the classroom. I was like, oh, I can do that because Mom's doing it. Or other teachers who are just as creative as Mom, because I'm not always the most creative. Like, I'm kind of one of those straightforward thinking type teachers. Like, I'm just like, okay, this is what we need. This is what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this and da-da-da and get it done. But being flexible to find other ways to do things, not just one way. So there's other teachers I can, look at and get those ideas from. And you can collaborate a lot within teaching, which is nice and kind of tied to that professional development piece.
Yeah, because I know I have one teacher on our team, and that's how she is. We could do this and this and this, and I'm over here saying, but let's put this in it and make it even more interesting. And it works. Yeah, and
you got to have that. That's the perk of teams. Teams and working with each other. So good. Okay. The things that I like about teaching, those are probably the biggest things, is I like working with the kids, seeing their growth. My favorite moments are when kids show that they learned something, and you're like, oh, they got it, and it makes you so proud and so happy, and you're like, yes, I've done something, I've changed your life in some way. So that's always fun to see. That's definitely a perk of teaching. And then, of course, I like the social aspect of being around different people. I like being around students because I like working around children and adults, but definitely I like being around kids because they're just funny. Like, kids are just little adults, and they say the funniest things. That's why that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things, works so well, because they really do. Like, they're hilarious. And so, that's what I enjoy about teaching, too. So, what would you say... and this might go into... I don't want to get... because, of course, when it comes to education, there's always the things that don't go well, the negative things, things that have changed for the better or for the worse. But what would you say, because you've got you got decades of experience, what has changed from when you first started teaching to where you are now that you're, exiting out of the profession, at least as a full-time teacher? What's changed?
The things that I think that have changed is so much are put on the teachers, and nothing is really taken off of your plate.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's a lot, and it becomes overwhelming. The teachers, we don't have the answer to all, but we're expected to have the answer, and we're expected to solve it.
Yeah.
With some support, little support. I don't know, so many things are taken away, but yet and still the responsibility is putting on. And it gets heavy. It gets heavy. You do so much more assessment, even though we were assessing before.
I do agree with that. We do assess a lot.
And even with behavior, we had behavior before, but it's different. It is different. Parent support is different. If you really have to support the family, support I'm not sure how to word it, to get people to invest in you and trust in you even before you teach their child.
That's true.
So they can believe in you.
Yeah.
So when you are calling and seeking help, that is not defensive.
Right.
I'm not trying to be against your child. I need your help. I cannot do it by myself. And so in order to do that, you got to win the families first.
Right.
Because they're tired too. They're working 2 jobs. And so they send them to school, and in other words, you fix it. And we can't do that.
And we can't. Yeah, that goes into the building relationship piece, which we always hear, but it is very important.
Very important.
To not just build relationship with kids, because that's kind of what we're constantly taught, but like you said, build relationship with the whole family.
You have to build, yes.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the student, they're going to gravitate to you. They see you every day. But you need the support of the family. On the good times, the bad times, and hey, come in my classroom. Come see what we're doing. So once that child understands, oh, you know my mama? Yeah, I do. That the behavior decreases. And if you do call home, all right, Miss Poston, I'll be right there. Because it's already established. But you have to establish that relationship. Is it easy? Sometime. If it's not,
yeah,
but you still got to try.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is a huge piece. Because even, like, we see memes and, like, jokes and things of, I don't know, have you seen that cartoon where, like, on one side it was, like, back in the 1980s, and if the teacher called the parent in, the parent's like, okay, kid, straighten up. And then it's, like, the 2000s, it's like, okay, teacher, what'd you do to my kid? Like, just the mindset's different. It's shifted in some ways as a whole. But even, like, almost, it's kind of like the roles of the teacher, like you said, has more things have been added, so it's expanded on. It's almost like, I know in some instances, my social work background, I think, comes in handy, because I feel like teachers sometimes have to be, I don't want to say case managers for students, but they carry on a lot. They're like, okay, let's get this kid this service because they need it for that. Okay, let's get this kid this help because they need it for that. So they're not just being teachers, in the moment teaching, but they're also thinking about the kid holistically, and after school, what supports does this kid need? When they go home, are they going to need this and that? And so teachers have taken on a lot of roles, I think.
When you collect the data for it, when you collect the data, it's just a lot.
It is.
And you have to do it for 6 weeks, and then you have a meeting, and then you collect more, and then you have a meeting. So, yeah, and that's on top of planning.
Right.
And everything else. So
on top of literally everything else.
And plus you have to take care of yourself so you can be supportive for your own family.
Right.
And I tell teachers or anyone, if you need an R&R, you take that. You take that mental day off. No, you may not be sick with a head cold or whatever, but you do need that mental relaxation in order to come back to be your best.
Right. And I've seen some movement towards mental health days being validated with sick days, because I definitely agree that they should be.
It should
because
be.
if mental health is now one of those things that I know, like insurance and districts they're paying for, a certain amount of sessions for things. Like they're finally, they're taking into account the mental health of their employees. And so that's, I think if they don't include them as sick days, though I think they should, then they should write them as mental health days. You get 3 mental health days, so however many sick days, this personal days, something should be done with that. But to help with the balance. And so you went to school for teaching while you had kids, and then you worked as a teacher and went to school, because I remember you went back for your master's and had kids. How do you balance family life and school life and work life all, how'd you do it? Looking back now, how'd you make it happen?
I believe the way it happened is the support of your family and friends. After work, I went straight to my classes, and then that's when your father took that part, and he did the same thing.
Yeah, because Dad was in school.
He was in school as well, and you just do it when it's in the now. You just do it because you know the goals that you set. You just do it. Yes, you worked on Saturday preparing. Yes, you worked on Sunday plus going to church. And yes, you stayed after school later to get your papers done. But you know that there's an end. And you just do it.
Yeah, you do know there's an end. And that's, I guess, part of that has, seeing that with you guys has helped me, because I know when I was in college and a friend of mine had asked for advice. She was like, I really want to do this, but I also need to work at the same time. It was college and work. And she was kind of debating, like, I don't know if I need to give up one or not. And I said, well, try it both. Try it both. And then when you get to the point where something's got to give, you'll probably have a clue which one you should give up at that point. But don't try to, at the beginning, think you can't handle it, sell yourself short, and then, you're going without when you could have done. So it's almost like you push through, knowing that there will be an end, knowing there's a reason, and knowing it won't last forever. And then if it does come to a point where this isn't working, then you can kind of face it at that point. So yeah, I saw you guys push through. I guess that's what you did, push through and make it work. And with the support of family and friends. Yep, those around you. That's big. And it's funny because family, I guess for you and Dad, were just each other because we don't live around family.
Yeah, so we didn't have the aunts and uncles and cousins. So yeah, it was just me and your dad. And then maybe somebody from church, when you all were younger. But yeah, we made it work.
Yeah, you just make it work. You just do the thing. Just do the thing.
We were tired. I take my naps in the car, going and coming, but
now are you driving right now?
No.
Riding with
that's why I always was the passenger.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. So then, with kind of wrapping up the teaching part, what advice would you give to new teachers coming into the field as you see it, with all these expectations and roles and things? And also, what advice would you give to older teachers who've been in it a long time, but they're still doing it? Because that can look different.
I guess it can. All right, the advice that I would give new teachers is that this is a lot of work. Teaching is a lot of work. It's not just teaching a lesson to the students. It's, once again, getting to know the family consistently, communicating with them, establishing your relationship with the students, setting your boundary. You're their teacher, not their friend. And to ensure that you're going to push them, not just keeping them where they're comfortable, but challenging them to do their best, and then beyond that. It's a lot of work. to make it interesting, to make it long lasting, not just what it has in the books or the curriculum. You got to make it come alive. And it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I remember, and I don't know that people know how much work it is. The only reason I had a clue beforehand was because I do remember as a kid, like when we worked when you were at the same school with me, and I would stay with you after school, or we would come in the summer or on the days off. I just know we'd come in, me and Beth, and we'd be cutting out stuff, helping you cut out stuff. You'd be cutting out stuff, putting up things. I remember when you were the Poston platypuses. Okay, Mom used to have these themes for her class, and the Poston platypus, I'm assuming because it's the only animal she could think of with a P, other than there were penguins. I mean, there's parrots. I mean, there's other P's, but somehow...
Porcupines. No, the reason why I had that is because it was a mixture of so many different animals.
Yes, the platypus was.
Like the duckbill and the webbed feet.
Yep.
It was a mammal.
Yeah.
So it represented all the different personalities and students coming from different cultures and making one.
I mean, it might be a stretch, but yes, I see.
Well, that was the thing. That was it.
Poston platypus, like, that's hilarious. Like, that's just funny. No, we're the wolves. We're the wildcats. We're the platypus.
That was
the platypus, platypi, whatever you guys were. That's funny. But I remember it took a lot of work. I remember you had a class, you did class pets for a while. I remember our guinea pig.
We did.
You would take to school and it would be your class pet. Which,
did.
Yeah. Class pets, are they still a thing? I guess some.
Yes, it is.
Some schools still do them.
And you have a grant for them if you write. You can get money for it. Oh, another thing, don't spend all your money, because as a teacher, we have a tendency to do that because the students become our students. I mean, and you want the best for them. If you want to be a highly effective teacher, I know some people may not need to do it or anything, but as far as like with the primary grades, I want it to be real for them. And that's why I go out.
Yep. And yeah, you will spend money. Try to be careful not to spend too much. But that's where things like Dollar General, where things like buying in bulk online can help with those little things. Finding another teacher. Here's my advice for new teachers. Find a teacher that's retiring, a veteran teacher, and just ask, is there anything I can take off your hands? Because I promise you, they've got so much stuff accumulated through all the years. My first year teaching, there was a kindergarten teacher who retired, and she gave me all her pencils and books and notebooks and crayons, and this was stuff that hadn't been used, people. I mean, like, this is just how much she had. And some, like, filing cabinets, just all kinds of things. So find you that teacher who's leaving at your school and ask for some stuff, because they'll give it to you. I'm telling you, they'll give it to you to try to make things fun and more engaging. Yeah. But yeah, that's good advice for the new teachers. It is a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. Pace yourself. Take some time off.
Yeah.
But
make it real. Make it fun.
Make it real.
And then you'll enjoy teaching it more
prepared.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely be prepared.
Yeah, please be.
They'll know if you're not prepared.
Oh.
Kids they'll call you out for it.
Yes, they will.
They'll call you out when your admin's there. And you're like, look, I've been right. He's like, I have been on it all day, and then the one day.
I mean, I know some people get there and then they leave, and their prep time, they may be doing it at home. I don't know. But it's just not a 9 to 5 per se.
No,
job.
it's not.
It is not.
You're about to retire in the next few weeks, and you are still there late. You were still there late last Friday. Like you still put in the work. Like, that's crazy. I would have had senioritis. We wouldn't have been doing nothing. Like but Mom is still grinding, knowing that she's going to be leaving in the next few weeks.
Had to put up my new bulletin board.
Still putting up bulletin boards.
Still grading papers, because like you said, the kids like, oh, we only have 12 whatever days. I said, oh no, no. You're going to give me the best all the way to the end.
All the way.
You're grading out? Yes, I am, because if there's something wrong, you're going to correct it. So
all the way through.
All the way to the end.
My goodness.
I'm sorry.
What about, so those are people who are new, just know it's going to be a lot of work, know it's worth it, make it real, build those relationships. What about those people who are kind of exiting out? So maybe they're not leaving yet, but maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, they'll be leaving. So they've done this for a long time. They've retired. Anything to help them through these last few years? I don't know. I don't know how, when you're at the end of your career, if you're just ready to get out or if you think you're going to miss it. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I feel like I'm ready to retire, just a few years in. But, if it's been 20-something years,
Yeah.
How do you know when you're ready? That's it. How do you know when it's about that time?
I believe that teachers know when it's time to retire when you have a peace about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with myself, yeah, I could probably do 5 more years per se, but no, it's time to do something different. With the teachers that are close to retirement, they have already set their course. What I would suggest to them is to share what they have to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not hanging on, not just doing the minimum, because you do get tired. I know I used to do so much more, and you've learned, okay, I can do that, but no, I think I'm going to do this a little bit easier. And with those teachers, I mean, how can I say it? I guess instead of just writing your time out, but to share what you have. Share the wisdom, share the knowledge, model the support, just like with the bulletin boards and different things like that.
Yeah, help these new and middle-aged teachers. Some are new, some been there a while, but yeah.
Yeah, and it is very hard because you're not admit or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But on your team, because that's what I believe a team should be made up of, somebody that is new, somebody that has been in maybe for about 10 years, and somebody that's almost on their way out, because you get those 3 different perspectives. I know with a new teacher, they're bringing in the new technology and all of this, and with the older teacher, well, no, I'm not going to teach that way. That's the wrong attitude. We should be just as good as the new ones who are coming in, instead of rejecting what they have. Can you teach me that? Or, and that's what I believe. Don't just stick to the traditional style, but add it to the newer.
Yeah, add to your repertoire.
Yeah. But those who are retired, I would say, even though teachers that retire, they're still teaching.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's in your blood.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come back as a substitute teacher until it gets out. I think it may take about 3 years. And then you're like, okay, it's done.
Now I'm done.
Yeah.
Inch your way out.
Yeah, it really does. I know I have been asked for different position, and I'm thinking, okay, I can do that. But do I want to? Because you like, okay, I can do that. I said, no, leave it alone. It's not your turn anymore. And that's the hardest part. Oh, we can do this next time. Oh, we can reteach. No, leave it alone for the next person. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
That's cool. And I like how you said, like, kind of mentor someone else. And whether it's formally, because you're a formal mentor, you're part of, we have a teacher residency program that works with our district and 2 of the colleges. So you have college students, but from different backgrounds and different ages in your class that you actively mentor with their teaching. And so even though that's more formal mentoring, but I assume you also mean there's other ways of just supporting those around you, not even just formally. But if there is a formal way, maybe signing up to do that, to get a student teacher in your classroom, to pass some of those things along.
I know it was you who encouraged me to open my classroom. Because before I did not. You get very possessive of your classroom, and you do not want anybody in there. And you told Mom, you need to share what you have. And I fought against it. I'm like, this is my classroom, but I did. So you said start small, and I did with the college students coming in to observe. And one thing when you come into my classroom, you do not observe, you work.
Yeah, you don't just sit there.
You just don't sit there because you learn better when you interact with the kids. Even though you're taking notes, that's what teachers do. You got to work and take notes and work and take notes. So don't just stumble. And so, observe. So I did start with the college students you told me to sign up for. And then from there, I kept getting more in the high school students, plus the college students, because I learned, if you have more people in the classroom, they can help you out. And then once the mentor, the resident program started, he said, Mom, you should do that.
Yeah.
And so I did. And it's good. It's hard because you do have to relieve some of the ownership, I guess you would say, to them, to making sure that they're teaching the kids correctly and pushing them. And it's hard because you do see mistakes and you want to correct them, but you gotta leave it alone a little bit and then, fix it a little bit later. And that's hard, but it's rewarding. Yeah. Because the teachers that have come out of the program, they are successful, and I am so proud of them.
Yeah, they've done good things. Well, you approach them kind of like you do your students. You're empowering them to take ownership of their learning, just like you did for your kids, hands-on. Yeah. Same thing with the adults. They still need that hands-on. You still have to back off sometimes and let them do it. Let them make the mistake and learn from it. Don't always catch them before they fall. Sometimes teach them how to get up afterward. So yeah, well, great. Aw, that's good stuff, Ma. That is. You're a good teacher. Okay. So any other last stories? Anything you remember? Any other teaching things? Let's see. Within your last, anything you want to talk about? No? Okay. So then my last thing, you're fine, is, you're so funny, is, okay, now that you're going to retire, what are some things that you look forward to? Like, what do you plan to do, or what's this going to look like for you in a few months?
So the reason why I am comfortable and at peace at retiring is because I feel that God is leading me a different way. And what kind of ministry particular, I'm not sure, but there is something that He has planned for me to do. What it is, I'm not quite sure, but the preparation time is what I need, and I cannot do both. I feel that I cannot do both as far as like teaching and what God has for me to do. I just know it. The other thing I am planning to do is just fiddle around. Just a little bit in my home, a little bit here, a little bit
Piddler, just walk around, just do little things.
Yes.
All the little projects that maybe you haven't done yet.
All those projects downstairs, yes. Plus getting my house in order, different things like that. Because I know there's a time to live and there's a time to die. And when you get older, you're not getting younger to live longer. Right. And so I just know that. But this is just a time of peace and preparation and praying for others. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. And taking care of my daughter.
Feel free to always take care of me.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Mom, come do my landscape.
I know, right? Yeah. Come to my house.
Try to get my son-in-law to start his garden.
Yep. You might be able to help with that.
But yeah, the simple things.
Yeah.
Maybe travel. Not necessary, but I do like to travel. Just simple things.
That sounds fine. Yeah, retirement. I'm ready for it. I've always said that. My first semester of teaching, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I can't wait to retire. That's funny. But, to be in that place of peace, knowing that you did something, that you did your impact in the world, but that God still has more for you. You know, that was one season, a very long, you know, couple decades long and more season. Yeah, but, you know, the next couple decades, like, what does God have that's different? And why, you know, you're still young enough to do stuff and enjoy it. So, yeah. Well, I think it'll be a good retirement for you. I feel at peace about it for you, too. I think it'll be good and fun, and I can't wait to see, you know, what God, how he uses you next and in what ways. So, yeah. Yay. Well, thanks, Ma. Thanks for coming on to talk teacher stuff and retirement stuff with me. I hope you guys enjoy listening. It's been real. It's been fun. I'm sure we'll do it again, Mother. Especially since you're going to have so much time.
No, I'm going to be busy.
Mother. But anyway, so yeah, thanks, Ma, for coming on. Yep. All right, but I'll catch you all on the other side. And we're back. Wasn't that a great episode? I love the just the chillness and calmness of my mom. She's such a vibe. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you, Mom, for coming on again. I really do appreciate it, especially on such short notice. Thanks for making it happen. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode there. I hope y'all have a fantastic next couple of weeks, and I'll see y'all in a bit.